Here we go. There's a record. I'll share my screen today. Again, we don't have anything specific on the agenda. I think our agenda will probably start getting more fleshed out next week. Like Rob and I even talked about possibly utilizing this for some of our spring demos so that the larger audience can see what's going on across the Janus IDP work that we're doing internally at Red Hat and be able to share that out. If you can, add your own name. If not, maybe people can help me add people's names as attendees. And I guess, does anybody want to start with any conversations or topics first around what they might have been looking at in the last week, or just sharing any information? No? Okay. All right. So I think Christoph and I can probably share some things. Just being down here at Tech Exchange, I can't talk about all of it. Let's see. So hold on. I think what we're going to see is a lot more internal Red Hat people being interested in how they can contribute to Janus IDP. So I would suggest, if they're, for any Red Hatters that hear of people that are interested, if you don't mind, try to get them aligned with like our Slack channels, internal and external Slack channels. I'd say, I know that Taras, who's from Frontside, did join our external Slack last week. And I think Oleg, I don't remember exactly who the conversations with, or no, I guess maybe that was still this week, but I know you guys were having some conversations there around something around Open API, I think. So I don't know if there was anything that came up from that you might want to share.
So there were two conversations. One was about Open API with Express.js. I'm not familiar with, or I'm not sure on the details, but it looked like it was a way for an Express API to be like defined via Open API. Express is a library, or it's a server framework within JavaScript. And then there was another conversation of getting TRPC added as an API within upstream Backstage. So I created a PR on that one. But other than that, I don't think there was anything that particularly related to Janus.
Okay. Great. Christoph, do you want to share anything from this week? I don't know if there's anything that you wanted to bring up just on the community side. I know that we've had a lot of internal discussions in the last couple of days because there's a few of us who have been present and in person. It's way easier to get some dedicated time.
Yeah, probably for the next meeting.
Yeah. So what Christoph did do is he got a demo together. So in the presentation today, Christoph, maybe you could just talk about what was in your demo with the plugins that you provided in there.
Yeah, the demo is a Backstage. We have some the Janus branding, and we have a couple of workflows. One will be creating a brand new component, so that will generate the code, add all the manifest for OpenShift, and create all the pipeline like the CI and CD pipelines. So a person that will start in Backstage and doesn't necessarily have the knowledge in a specific company, or even the like the toolings, they will be able to get started and get to production within seconds or just minutes.
Yeah. Awesome. So I know I need to reconnect with Lee on the community side. I think we're going to start seeing a lot more traffic there. We've got a couple more blogs in the queue from Andrew Block going on there. So Lee, I promise I will reach out to you next week and see if we can have a call just on seeing if you can start doing some of the design work around how we might want the site to look like, including a community page and some of the other like things around videos and things like that. So awesome. I'm really happy that you're going to be helping with us there. I know also that there was a decision that Luke has taken out the Backstage plugin stuff from Parados, and we are definitely, we have to coordinate how that's going to be submitted to Janus, but it's no longer in Parados. So the plugin work associated with his works, with his, I don't even remember what it's called now. The Parados work those plugins will be in Janus going forward. So. I'm curious if, Sam, have you been able to do any more, look into anything more related to the portal side of Backstage?
Sorry, Serena, were you asking me?
Yeah.
Or the other stand up?
Yeah. Well, no, I was just wondering if you, Sam Paget, if you've done any more investigation on the UI side at all.
On the UI side, I'm mainly still looking at the pattern fly spike.
Okay.
I know we chatted about dynamic plugins and if that wouldn't fit well with Backstage, but no updates since the last meeting.
Okay. All right, great. So does anybody else have any other topics that they want to bring up? Jay, I know you've made some success with topology. Do you want to just share a little bit of that?
Yeah, I can talk about it. So yeah, so how to get started? So basically, topology is a big kind of visualization in OpenShift. What we have it there, where we visualize all the workloads in a particular namespace. So that's what topology is in terms of OpenShift. And that is basically, I mean, it's built with ODC team, and gradually with the help of Patternfly folks like Jeff have done a lot of work over there. Then it has been moved to Patternfly, the core piece of topology. So maybe I can provide those links in the chat later. So there are two pieces. One thing is we have PF topology, which comes from Patternfly, and then we have a lot of customization in our own code base. When I say our code base, I mean OpenShift, where we get the resources, we watch for them, we try to massage them, get the data model ready with the help of controllers, and then map different shapes to that. So what I mean by shapes is like, say, if we have a deployment, we show more like a circle with a donut, showing the replica status, rolling up, rolling down, and those kind of things. And then we also have Knative services, for example, just to give a different contrast, which is shown in a different shape completely. So I could have shown that, but I don't have OpenShift running right now. But I hope you guys can, if you have used OpenShift, you would have gone to dev perspective, you would have noticed that. So idea about this work, which comes from Backstage, is to build a plugin which will essentially showcase the services, whatever is deployed across, and help user visualize it. So that is the idea behind this plugin. So my current effort is basically, first thing which I did is integrating Patternfly topology as package test plugin. Does it work? Does it look as it's supposed to look with what BF team has done? And next step currently, which I'm working on, is help them visualize the workloads. So till now, I'm not looking into communicating to the cluster what Kubernetes plugin already does in some form, but what I have heard is they don't watch for the resources currently. So what my current work is having the data model ready, the flow ready, so that UI can behave and work as expected. And then look into the integration piece, how we're going to talk to the cluster. So maybe I'll share my screen and quickly. So it is again in my local. I have posted a code somewhere, but in my branch. Not posting to Janus IDP yet because I feel I can't post in half-baked state because I have things ready. So this is the thing which I am trying out. So you guys can see different tabs here, right? So till pipeline layouts, it's all PF thing. So you have we have nodes, different nodes are being shown. If you click on this, you'll get a connector, which is like you can connect to anything. We have grouping concept. So everything pretty much works as PF mentions in Backstage as a plugin. So what is missing here is the theme. That is something that I would look into. So if you go to topology sidebar, it's pretty much similar thing, but you can also have a sidebar which can show some more details about this particular resource, I'll call it. But anyway, these are PF integrations. So if you click on this, sidebar can be expandable. So everything works pretty much as we would expect it to. And this is pipeline tasks. So this is built basically for Tecton, where we have different tasks from pipelines to show the statuses, if you see all the effects. Likewise, we have pipeline layout, where you see the whole flow for different tasks connecting and how they reach to finally or whatever. So pretty much whatever PF has done works fine. I don't see much of an issue over here. And the workload node is something where I try to bring up with the mock data or workload. Say, hello, OpenShift is a deployment. And if you see the status, like current status of the pod or replica, it is in running, pending. So these integrations is currently which I'm working on. So visually in UI, I could visualize it. I'm currently working on creating the data model controller at different layers because we need to massage deployment data in this case to store as a node with all the attributes what topology package needs. And then we also need to get pod data, more like watching those things, the replica sets, controlling the scaling and all of those different options. So these are the things which currently I'm working or looking at. So once I have the UI piece side of things ready, then we'll start looking into Kubernetes one. And yeah, so Divyanshi is
That
from
was awesome.
basically our core group. So she'll be start parallelly looking into things in topology side.
That's great.
Any questions? Sorry. Yeah.
I was
Any
going to say, Jay,
questions?
like maybe we can just talk about where we see that integrated is
Yeah.
when you're clicking
Maybe I'll
on a
share my
service.
screen and try to
Yeah,
talk about the experience also.
that would be great.
Yeah. So this is operate first instance, I think, by Janus. So I just tried to help you visualize over here. It will work with even with Kubernetes plugin ultimately. So idea is like, okay, we will have services over here or whatever being listed. Say I will start to. If you click on any of the services, user will see whatever they see now. Like in OpenShift tab, which shows as Kubernetes tab in Kubernetes plugin. If you click on that, it shows error reporting, and then all the clusters or the namespaces across cutting the workload, which is powering this particular service. It could be deployment, could be service, and then this shows this status, which all of us have already seen. So topology view will come more like as a separate tab over here, which will essentially try to visualize these resources. So we'll see the status as I showed in the UI, the green, yellow, red, the donut showing the status, and then we'll have some more information on the sidebar, which could talk about the number of ports it has, CPU usage, or services associated, or routes, whatever information we can get, and this all information will be in read-only mode currently, because I think it's just the read, right? Yeah.
Yep, perfect. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what we've said for the summit time frame. So, and I think we also kind of talked about doing this in a phased approach where maybe
Yeah.
at the beginning you're not in the beginning you are polling. It's just the resource. Then we integrate the details panel, the side panel.
Yeah.
Maybe
Okay.
the side panel first starts with just the details of the Kubernetes object, but then we add the resources tab, which will have the connected objects. And then if we can then integrate the watch, then we'll have that kind of be real time
So
as
initial
it is
idea
in
is to
ODC
get
today.
So initial idea is to get whatever is currently there. As I can see in this particular view, we already have data for the pods or the statuses. So maybe we can try to leverage that, and whatever way they are getting the data, it's more like fetching, I believe. So we can do that, do internal polling to update the data. And once we do that, we can actively make it to use, if we can watch those resources, we can create sockets and try to pull the data continuously. So I'm reading through different articles as well, because Backstage, to be honest, I'm very new. I came across this from Rodeo, and I need to validate this. And they say that using RBAC authorization, these are the resources which can be watched currently. I'm not sure if this is limited to this or it can expand to anything. I think depending on the role, we can, but yeah.
Interesting. We might want to connect you with Andrew Block. He's been doing a bunch of things around the RBAC stuff as well. He might have some more knowledge that he can share with you. I know he's down here this week, so he's probably not on the call.
Yeah, so once we'll start with the integration piece, right, we'll get first-hand knowledge, because right now my information is more read-only. I mean, I'm reading through the things. Once I try out things, my hands get dirty with what resources we get, what kind of data we get. Do we have everything? If not, what is that we need?
Right. Awesome. Any questions for Jay? Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. All right. Anybody else want to talk about anything? The other topic that I know is coming up down here is around platform submissions. I don't remember what, I think the conference is in June. I don't remember the CFP date. But if anybody's already interested in doing something like that, you might want to just reach out to some others to see what if there's conflicting proposals going in, I would just suggest that. So somebody's putting in an issue as we're speaking, so.
Oh, that's me. Sorry.
Hey, yeah.
There was a conversation yesterday that popped up that Oleg had found about Backstage for Backstage developers, kind of backception. So I posted a link to that. They were thinking about talking about it today during a meeting. So I just wanted to just kind of thread that for those folks that are interested in it.
Go ahead, Thorsten. You have a question?
No, sorry. I just want to say, okay. I was looking for the thumbs up thing. Sorry.
No problem.
The driving and mobile phone is not the best combination.
So Ryan, I'm just trying to think. Where is this call?
If you look at the third comment down, RFC as a discussion topic for tomorrow's adoption SIG.
Yeah, are they having the adoption SIG today? For some reason, I thought it was still canceled, but maybe I'm wrong.
I said proposed agenda items.
I'm seeing one at 10 on my calendar.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna go look at Discord because I'll ask Francesco. It might be back on, but I know they had canceled. I thought they had canceled for 2 or 3 weeks. Oh, it does look like it is on today. Okay, great. I'm not gonna be able to join, so if somebody, people can join Ryan and somebody give myself or anybody else maybe on the Backstage, the internal Slack channel. That might be great to get an update on what happened.
Sounds good.
Awesome.
Where do
Thanks.
I'm sorry. Where do you see where do they talk about meetups on their Discord?
So if you go to the Backstage Discord, there's on the very top, it says 3 events.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And if you
I
open
never look
that
at
up,
the
it shows
events,
you,
that's why.
yeah. So adoption and catalog SIG, I think, are every 2 weeks, if I remember right. And that community session, I think, is monthly.
Okay.
So,
All right, I see
and the
that.
community
Thank you so
session,
much.
just so you know, the community session is the one where Tom and Andrew had demoed last time.
Okay.
Recordings, yes, I think they are recorded. I don't know where the recordings go, though. I haven't seen the recordings afterwards. All right. Well, I don't want to waste people's time, so unless anybody else has another topic, I'm going to back up for one more time. Otherwise, all right. Well, thanks everybody for joining. We'll see you next week.
All right. Thank you all. See you.
Have a nice weekend.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.